All right, so taking measurements on a U-shaped kitchen is a very simple process. So first things first, let's draw out your U-shaped kitchen. So secondly, let's go ahead and mark doors. So let's say over here you actually have a door that's here like that, and you're gonna end up with cabinets over here, cabinets over here. You've got a window right here centered on your wall. And let's generally, you could also draw out if you want, you could draw out your appliances at this point. So let's say you want to do a dishwasher right here, DW. You want to do a sink. That N is a little pathetic, but a sink. You want to do Lazy Susans, LS, and just drawing those in on your corners like that is helpful at this point as well. Okay, this is a doorway over here. You have a refrigerator that's going to be over here. REF can be for refrigerator, not referee. And then you actually have a range here. Range right there, refrigerator, and that's going to be the end of your cabinets. So once you have it drawn out like that, you can draw these in after, but generally we just need this information. So pulling measurements from here, let's say you got 50 inches, whoa, 50 inches to your window, and then your next one, we've got 103 1/2 to there, and then we've got 154 over here. So we go 154 to there, to there. It's always better to mark this out in inches instead of feet. So instead of going, 12 feet, 3 1/4 inches, just make it out in inches. It'll just simplify everything there. So inches. So that gives you measurements there. Now, essentially right here on your window, it is extremely important when you do your window that if you have a windowsill, you're giving us measurements. Well, that's terrible. Let's go that way with that. So it's essential that you give us measurements to your windowsill, the furthest point out, window trim, casings, whatever it is, give us measurements to that furthest point out on your window there. Nice window. So take the measurements to that. So that takes care of that wall. That gives us a general idea of what we got here. So doorway, let's say you've got 82 1/2 inch there to your doorway. And then you could say in cabinets here. Cabinets there. And then come over here and say, okay, I want, I've got about 60 inches of cabinets over here like that. And I want drawers. Both there and there. So if you want some drawer bases and some upper cabinets, you can just measure it out, mark it out for us on there. So in cabinets, that's door trim. Over here, we're going to know that that's the door trim, so we'll know to keep it, a couple inches back off of your door trim. Now over here, we don't know where this actually ends. So let's just say you do this and you circle it and you go plus minus 3 inches. And then you give us a measurement for that, which is going to look something like 164 to there. And that lets us know that we can actually have our cabinets can go a little past that point, or it can be held back in a little bit, and that'll just help us with the layout to make sure everything looks incredible. So over here, range, let's just say you have a vent above your range. So we need a measurement from here to your vent, okay? So let's just say you've got 64 inches, and then that's a vent. So that's a hard measurement. We need to know those because we don't want to lay out your whole kitchen, you order your cabinets and show up and you have to move your vent 3 inches after everything's already been done. So letting us know you got a vent there lets us know that, okay, that's a fixed measurement. And you might want to just say, micro above, something like that. And that'll let us know, okay, you've got a microwave up above your range, good, your vent's fixed, you can move them a little bit often, so if it's a couple inches, you can get special vents that bend and flex a little bit so you can work with that. But it's good for us to know that. Refrigerator, let's just say you have a water box here. So you do water like that, and then you go here like that, and you go 112 inches, let's say. And that will let us know that you have a water box there, so it has to stay where that refrigerator is. Or if there's a receptacle, and the receptacle is right at the edge here, let us know that you've got a receptacle right at the edge, and so we can't move that refrigerator very much. And so give us a measurement to that as well. Yeah, and that's generally what we're looking at. And then if you have an island out here, go ahead and draw on your island. If you have an ideal island size, just make some notes on there. This gets us started. It doesn't need to be fancy. We do this all the time. And so if your drawing looks like chicken scratch perfect, that's what we're used to seeing. And so now a really good way to do this, just to make sure, is draw this whole thing out on a piece of paper. Take that piece of paper and store it somewhere else where you can't see it. And go ahead and get another piece of paper, remeasure the whole thing out, redraw your kitchen out, look at both of those papers and make sure that they have the exact same measurements. If not, check it again and find out which one of those measurements is right. That's just a fail-proof way of doing this. You know, carpenters always say measure twice, cut once. Well, measure twice or even 3 times and order your cabinets once as well. And then once we get this, we're going to put it into our 3D program. You'll be able to look at it and it'll be a lot more clear than all of this. And so you can actually have those measurements, go back into your kitchen and check it again. So you don't have to fear, you know, all your cabinets showing up and they don't fit, because there's multiple opportunities to check it and confirm everything's good to go. So once we do that, it goes into 3D. We'll get you those coming your way with a quote showing you the whole price of the whole kitchen with free shipping and all those bells and whistles on it there. And we'll get this thing moving forward. So thanks for the opportunity to work with you guys.